It is day 9 of spring break special.
It's the last day of spring break special.
It's the last day.
Because tomorrow,
Back to the
work.
grind.
Yep, back to work.
And it doesn't feel like it's back to the grind.
No, it doesn't, because it's a different kind of grind.
But I'm not going to let this be my therapy session.
No, we'll save that for later. We do have, after we're finished, we do have some little announcements about meals
Yeah.
for the upcoming week. So make sure you watch till the end.
All right.
All right, so the word of the day is conspicuous.
Conspicuous.
It's an adjective, and it is spelled Conspicuous. Conspicuous. I almost thought I spelled it wrong, which is very
What's
likely.
it mean?
It means obvious, not oblivious, obvious to the eye or mind, or attracting attention. So, I'm going to use it in a sentence later on, and I chose this word because it was in some of the reading that I had done about my country. I'm not going to say my country today. I'm going to practice
I
that.
bet you do.
If I were betting in person, I probably would. I didn't write it down though. Okay, so it's conspicuous. But what is interesting is I think I have only ever really, I knew what conspicuous meant, but I think I only ever really used inconspicuous. Like, you must be inconspicuous, which in means not. And so not conspicuous means if you are inconspicuous, if you are acting inconspicuously, you are not being obvious. Like, you're like, I'm trying to be a little shady.
Conspicuous.
Yeah. Conspicuous.
I'm trying to think of a time I've used that word.
I don't know. But I don't know if I've ever used conspicuous, but I've used inconspicuous, which is interesting to me. Okay.
All right, so we have some big national days. Today is National Big Wind Day. Wind.
Like
We've had some big wind.
Big wind.
Freak.
We have had, and we're supposed to get winds tonight.
Yes.
Actually,
we've had some tornado watches and tornado warnings, and so always stay weather aware. Today's also National Grilled Cheese Day.
I love grilled cheese.
Now, yesterday we had our Easter dinner. Today's also Easter.
It is Easter.
So lots of people out there celebrating Easter. We had our Easter dinner yesterday because we did a lot of our Easter stuff yesterday because the weather was nicer. Today it was supposed to rain all day, and
it hasn't.
It didn't.
It did not
rain until the very end of the day. So, but my daughter, we had leftover Easter food tonight, but my youngest daughter requested that she just have a grilled cheese sandwich.
That's
so she
perfect,
celebrated
yeah.
National Grilled Cheese Day. It's also National Licorice. Is that how you say it?
Licorice
Day. That's a type of candy, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I like red. Well, I sometimes like red licorice. I
You don't like black?
licorice.
Black is nasty. It's National Colorado Day.
Oh.
And I meant to go back on this, but then I got sidetracked with something else, so maybe we're just celebrating people in Colorado.
Does Kentucky have a national day?
I don't
let's
think
make
so.
one.
We haven't seen it.
Of course, we have the Derby. What does Colorado have?
Yeah. Woo woo. It is Easter. That's on my list. It's National 4/12s Day, which means we remember things. 12 is a big number for us in our culture. We have 12 months. We sell things by the dozen, which is 12.
Unless it's a baker's dozen.
Are there
13.
12 horoscopes? I don't know. But anyway.
Yeah, probably because there's 12 months.
But anyway, they talked about how the importance of 12 in our culture.
12? Oh, 4.
4,
F-O-U. I thought you were doing a fraction, like 4 over 12.
National 4/12 Day.
So, okay.
They talked about, we have they sell things in the dozen. I don't know.
Well, and most of the time, like when you're learning your multiplication tables, you learn them up to 12.
Yeah. And so there are...
Cool.
Anyway.
That's interesting.
Today, the only thing... This tablecloth is nasty. The only thing that day in history is Henry Clay was born this year. Not this year. In 1777, he was born. He is considered the great compromiser. He was an American politician and statesman who ran unsuccessfully for president 3 times. He was an American attorney. He was a senator for both he was a senator for the United States, and also he was a member of the House of Representatives.
Oh, cool.
For Kentucky.
Yes.
For Kentucky.
That's who Henry Clay High School is named after, correct?
Probably.
Okay.
And then they also have...
Henry Clay's house is there.
Isn't it called Ashland? It's not in Ashland, but it's called.
I don't know. I have no idea. But
I thought the house is called Ashland, even though it's not in Ashland. It's in Lexington.
I'm gonna look that up. But I will say that's where my class of 1999 went for their senior trip.
Ooh.
Yeah, we were really excited.
I'm
about
pretty
that.
sure it's called the Ashland or Ashland. I'm gonna look it
I
up.
don't know, but maybe
I went there a couple years ago.
I believe that.
He was the 7th Speaker of the House
Oh.
and the 9th Secretary of State. But
That's a
here's
big
what's
deal.
interesting, I thought. He ended up defeating somebody for Senate as a senator. Do you know who he defeated? Is it preceded if he...
Means before.
Who preceded him then?
Who preceded him? I have no idea. I don't.
John Rowan.
Is that who
our county is also is named after?
Oh. Is it Rowan or Rowan?
Rowan, whatever. So John, I thought that was very
That is
interesting.
very cool.
Henry Clay beat John Rowan for his Senate state.
Wow, that's cool.
Even he had been Rowan had been at odds over his belief in Jeffersonian democracy.
Oh, like as for Thomas Jefferson?
Yes.
Okay.
And so they would not align with him, and our boy Henry Clay was able to beat him.
Wow.
Henry Clay ranks among the most influential figures in the United States.
On what list?
On lots of lists. I believe that when you go to the Capitol, every state sends 2 statues to the Capitol. Do you know that?
Yes, I learned that.
And I'm pretty sure, I've been to the Capitol several times, I'm pretty sure one of our statues from Kentucky is a bust, sculpture of Henry Clay.
I've only been there once, but it was last
I'm
year.
a genius and you just didn't know it. So,
I'll
that's
give
all
you
I
that.
got.
You have a genius moment, Hood.
That's all I've got, but I thought, man, I didn't realize the
That's
Rowan
cool,
connection.
Yeah. Well, I kind of like ashamed that I didn't really realize that's what our county is named after.
I didn't even know he was
born
named
and
after
raised here.
John Rowan. So anyway,
Cool. I'm gonna learn about him. Okay.
all right, that's
Awesome. You forgot the best national day ever.
it. No, I
It's
don't.
drop everything and read day. So drop right now. Let's read something. I'm gonna read off this and tell you my where in the world.
And so I
Our
have
two
to
crazy
tell you my
teachers.
where in the world yesterday.
I forgot already.
I didn't tell you. You didn't ask because you didn't act like you cared.
Did I?
Papua New Guinea was my country yesterday.
You know what's so funny? So you had told me that like New Guinea took up half of this island-like thing. So today I was looking at my globe that is very outdated, and I thought, I don't know why. I swear I thought I knew your country, but I was looking at it and I thought, oh, this must be Mr. Hood's country because it's half of one country and half of another in this landmass. And then I looked at it and I was like, oh, it's New Guinea. That's not what his country was. But it was. I didn't ask. It's not that I didn't care. It's just...
So now it's time for our segment.
Where in the world? That was perfect timing.
All right,
Okay.
so tell us about your
All
world.
right, so my country is in South America. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the continent. And I wanted to do a different, I was going to do like a big surprise and do a pretend country like where Harry Potter lives, but he really lives in a real country, and I didn't want to do that. So,
What country does he live in?
the United Kingdom, like in England, not United Kingdom, England. Is that the same?
I don't know. I always get confused.
But it's in England. But anyway, okay, so my country today that I'm talking about, that I'm taking you on, is in South America, and its official language is Spanish. It was first settled by the Spaniards, which is probably why it has such a huge Spanish influence. Okay, it has a multi-party republic as its government, and I don't know what that really means. I read about it, but it was kind of confusing me. So
I wonder if they have, like we have Democrats and Republicans, I wonder if they have multiple parties, not just 2 like we have.
But what's the difference in a republic? What does it mean?
You're going to ask me that on the...
Okay, sorry, never mind. Scratch that out. This is a theoretical question, or a rhetorical question.
Well, I'm just afraid I'll get it wrong.
Okay, so the population of my country, we don't have time for that. I know you really wanted to tell all of our viewers all about whatever. republic is. We'll do that later. Population is 17 million, almost 18 million. Okay, but the area is only about 290,000 square miles. All right, but here's what's so cool about this country. Okay, it is 2,700 miles north to south. But at its widest point, it's only 141 miles.
I know.
Shut up. Well, it is very defined.
Does it have any
physically.
coastline?
Of course.
Yeah, a lot.
But the average width of the country is only 110 miles. So that is less than the distance from Moorhead, Kentucky to Lexington.
It's like it's skinny.
It's skinny. It's skinny. Mm-hmm. That's okay. You finally got one. It's a miracle. So it's the longest country north to south in the world, I think, or maybe the second longest country, because there's another one in South America as well that is also very long. But I think it says the longest. Okay, it is mostly mountainous, and Mount Tronador has its highest peak, and the people there, 88% of them live in the city. They live in an urban area, and only 12% live in rural. Okay, so here is the climate. Because of its length, from north to south, it is, I lost him. It changes. So there's like this desert area, and then it gets all the way down. The closer you get to Antarctica, it gets like subarctic temperature. So there's all different kinds all the way through. So the cold to subarctic in the southern. There's lots of volcanic eruptions, violent earthquakes, and tsunamis because of the plates that are surrounding it. Fierce winter storms and flash floods alternate with severe summer droughts. So seasonally, there could be like fierce storms and then no storms at all. Okay. Are you going to try to find it? You already know. I know. I knew it would be a giveaway, but it's pretty cool. Economy. I chose to talk about the economy because you teach economics and you're all into that because you're like that. They get a lot of their money from agriculture and mining copper, iron, and nitrate, which I don't know what nitrate is unless it's just a different mineral. I don't know.
Don't ask me.
Okay. And the exploitation of sea resources. So they do a lot of like
they're on the coast.
Fishing. They are on the coast. They have a gigantic coastline. By the 21st century, it had one of the most successful economies in South America. Which I thought was kind of cool. All right, animals. The animal life actually lacks a little bit of diversity because it is compared to the other countries in South America. So there's still a lot of diverse animals, but not as many as the other countries. And it's because there's a barrier in one part of the country that's created by the Andes, the mountain range. And so it keeps the migration patterns. When animals migrate seasonally, they can't get to different parts of the country. And so it's limited. It restricts those animals and where they are. But they have like the world's smallest deer. And then they have a possum-like monkey. It's not the only reason why I'm wearing this hat, but it's one reason I am.
Well, that's one reason I'm wearing that hat.
I haven't washed my hair today. So there's the monkey, and then there are other animals too, but I chose those to highlight. They have the most abundant type of animals are rodents. So Miss Man would not want to live there. There are no poisonous reptiles or spiders, and that's due to the country's geographic isolation, like the way that the land is laid out.
Miss Man would like that then.
Yes, so no poisonous reptiles or spiders. Okay, so just kind of the random things about this country. I've about said it. Literature, specifically poetry, is the most significant of their creative arts. So they had the 2 Nobel Peace Prize winners were poets from this country. Most recently in 1971. I don't remember their names. Easter Island is a territory of this country, and that is located 2,300 miles west of this country. Yeah. So I thought that was cool.
That's far away.
It is. Even though, yeah. Okay. It's home to the world's biggest swimming pool.
Where's the swimming pool at?
I'm not going to tell you that, but it is 1,000 yards in length. So this swimming pool is 1,000 yards in length. I read this on the internet, so it's got to be true. But
Facebook.
I didn't fact check, but
Wikipedia.
I did see a picture. No, not Wikipedia. It's a horrible. Do not ever use Wikipedia as a source. And Google is not a
That's
source.
where I get all my
FYI.
information.
I'm sure you do. It's 1,000 yards in length, and it's 20 acres in area. So that's pretty big.
But you don't know what city it's in?
No. The maximum depth is 115 feet.
That
I
is
can't
crazy.
believe that a swimming pool
That's
would
a
be
big pool.
115 feet deep. That was the part that I was a little like, I don't know if it's true. And it holds 66 million gallons of crystal clear sea salt water. That's
Is
what
it
said.
outdoor pool or
Yeah,
indoor?
it's outdoor. Oh yeah, it's right on the coastline. Like if you look up a picture of it, there's a barrier and it's clearly defined, but it goes this whole like way, and then there's the ocean. It's pretty cool. And then I thought, golly, man, that'd be a pain to clean if you had a tsunami or like a high tide or something.
I'm gonna Google it.
Whew. It was really pretty. It is the driest there. Oh, it's not the driest place on Earth, but there's a place in this country that is considered the driest place on Earth, and it's called the Atacama Desert. Oh, you'll like this. The students might. The oldest deliberate mummy in the world was found here. It was a child. It was like 50 BC or something, dated back. 90% of the world's potatoes are harvested from here, or like come from here. That's what they're.
Is a lot of the area mountains?
Yes, but it's there. It's a lot. It's a big mountainous region, but they do have some farming.
And I bet they build like terraces on the side.
Probably so.
To grow, yeah.
And I don't know if potatoes need like super great soil, but some places they have soil.
No.
And this was for you. This was your doom and gloom.
Oh, yes, doom and gloom.
The largest earthquake ever recorded was recorded in this country in 1960, and it was recorded as a 9.5.
Boom.
I do know how many people died, but I'm not going to tell you. 1,000 people died. Yeah. Okay.
Doom and gloom. Okay. All right, well.
Mills? You going to tell about Mills real quick?
I didn't listen to the message.
And we didn't get any emails.
I mean, it was my good friend Glenn Seeger. But
he does a great job.
He
on
does.
this. His voice is very calming and soothing.
you know, I felt calm and soothed
I did.
as I got the message about meals.
Even though you didn't listen to it today. Okay, so meals are going to change the delivery. If you pick up meals, that stays the same. All 4 elementary schools will be open from 11 to 12:30 to pass out meals. But the delivery meals are only going to be delivered, I believe now it's once a week, and it will be they'll only be delivered by those families who absolutely cannot come and get them, and they have already been established by the youth service centers
at their schools.
at each school. So
If you have questions about that, please contact
your school.
To find out whether or not, if you're unsure whether or not they're going to be servicing or not, okay?
If there's any way, they still want to encourage everybody between the ages of 1 and 18 to actually drive to the elementary schools and pick up a meal if possible. So.
And I was talking to somebody yesterday who I was encouraging them to go get meals, especially parents. If you're at home and you need to venture out
Yes.
and you want to break up the day, Miss Mason and I were just talking about this. We have our own children with us, each of our own kids with us, and so it's a great way to divide up the day.
Yeah.
And somebody was concerned about what type of food they would be serving. It's amazing food.
It is. It's great.
The problem, most of the time, I will take to go get my kids food is because they don't typically eat the food that I make at home.
That is a true story.
And they much rather eat what the school is offering.
Yeah.
And lots of times you get to see some of those great smiling faces from the cafeteria workers or the office staff that they get to see every day.
Yeah,
So-
and it's a routine. That
And
if
it's
you
a
go
routine.
every day, like we go every day, and it's part of our routine. And
Right.
kids need routine. So,
And so it is good. It's well prepared, and we are so thankful for those individuals
extremely.
doing that. So
All right.
tune in tomorrow. We'll tell you where in the world we were today, and then we'll tell you what we'll be talking about tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
Peace out.